Good evening. Welcome back to Harrison High School. We are excited to have you guys back. I will tell you, before we get started, my very first year here, Dr. Bosch had me come up to speak at the IB graduation. It was a little awkward for me because I didn't have any of those students. They had all graduated before I ever set foot in Harrison High School, but you are a much different class. I have this different feeling, this smile on my face of seeing all of you coming back here because we got to spend 3 full years together. So it looks like you are all well. Looks like you're all well fed in your first years of college. And so I'm excited to hear about what you guys are doing. That's going to be a little bit part of our night as well. But before we do that, I am going to invite up Mr. Terry Johnson, who is our Vice President of our Board of Education.
Okay, I'm supposed to do the welcome, so welcome. I first want to introduce my colleagues on the Board of Ed, and I'd like to also introduce, before I start, Dr. George Heisch. Let's give Dr. George Heisch a hand. Dr. Heisch, can you stand for a moment? Just stay standing. Let's give him a big round of applause. He's announced his retirement. This will be his last year with us. Next in, we have Dr. Erin Johnson. In her absence, our president, Ms. Terry Weems. We also have Ms. Angie Smith, our secretary. Mr. Mark Kozlowski, our treasurer. On the back row, we have trustee-elect Mr. Zach Rich. Something to know about Mr. Rich, he is also an IB grad and brand new to our school board, so that's outstanding. Miss Pamela Green, trustee. Miss Jessica Cummings, trustee. And I'm supposed to say a few words of welcome, so let me repeat myself. Welcome. Thank you.
So continuing with Mr. Johnson's theme of introductions, I want to just make sure we acknowledge some of our staff in the building. Your beloved Dr. Bosch has come back to join us. She's been busy putting together the pieces for the middle years program. So for future students in Farmington Public Schools, we'll have a full K-12 continuum of IB. So that is excellent news. Along the back, Mrs. Palmer, the one you got those calls from in the summer. Mrs. Kerr. And Mr. Russell. I do want to take a moment, and I'm sure most of you have heard the sad news. Mrs. Dean did suffer a mild stroke last week. It was quite sudden. She is in good spirits, and she is on the mend. She wants you to know that she is very proud of you. She put a lot of work into getting this night ready. It's sad that she can't be here, but she is working hard to get back with us, and so we will relay the great news that you guys will share with us tonight. So please keep her in your thoughts and in your prayers. So recognition of the class of 2018, just a few, and we did a lot of this back in June, but specific to the IB group, largest diploma class to date. So biggest group we've ever had here in Farmington Public Schools. That's a great accomplishment. Of that largest group, 86% earned the full diploma. The world average is only 80%. So we are in excess of the world average. This is a repeated statistic, and I know some of you are taking advantage of that now, but you were offered as a class over $8 million in scholarships. 11 scores of the individuals, there are 11 individuals with scores above the world average, and 7 were just less than 1 point away from that same mark. So those are some great individual accomplishments as well. But I think this is the most important thing. You guys are a group of fantastic individuals, and we know you're going to change the world. And so we're all very proud of you. I know moms and dads and grandma and grandpa and families are happy to have you back, even though you stay up too late and probably wreck our schedules at home. But they're happy to have you back for the holidays, and I know they're proud of you and excited to see what you'll do next. So, without further ado, we're going to start hearing from some of you as I bring up Dr. Bashrush and Mrs. Palmer to present the IB diplomas and the certificates.
Welcome, everyone. What a group of students these are, and I miss them terribly, and it's so good to see them. I'm going to name all the names because some people might have snuck in here afterwards, and I didn't see them. And when they come up, I'm going to have them step forward and share where they're going to school, or if we've had some that have taken a gap year and traveled the world, and indicate if you have a major yet, or what you're thinking about, or if you're undecided. That's perfectly okay. But we want to hear kind of what you're up to. So, starting with Aliyah Abdullah Kader, no. Gotham Barigan,
I'm going to Wayne State and I'm studying biology.
Arietta Bajramai,
I study at MSU and I'm in James Madison College, and my major is international relations.
Travis Bell,
I go to the University of Michigan and I study molecular biology.
Jen Benson, Julia Beinstock, Jack or Phoebe Block, Evan Boardway.
I am currently attending Grand Valley State University and I am a computer science major.
Izzy Bradley, I don't see. Haley Shane.
I currently go to Alma College and I'm majoring in chemistry.
My alma mater, I'll have you know. Josh Corsino. Erica Fells.
I am studying marketing at Wayne State University.
Alex Fisher.
I am studying business at the University of Detroit Mercy.
Nira Fowler. I thought I saw her.
I'm studying biochemistry at Adrian College.
Trevor Fush.
I am studying astrophysics and computational modeling at Michigan State University.
Gabrielle Gamely. No. Andrew Holscher.
I'm studying mechanical engineering at U of M.
Jacob Honer.
Hello, everyone. I'm currently studying electrical engineering at Michigan State University.
Annabelle Janikowski. Mohammed Kafarani.
I am studying electrical engineering at Michigan State University.
Hamza Kidway? No. Gabrielle Kosiba.
Hi, I'm studying computer science and international studies at Hope College.
Perry Chris.
I'm studying political science and Spanish at Marquette University.
Candace Kwok.
I'm studying kinesiology at Wayne State University.
Luc Lossier.
I'm currently on a gap year, but I'll be studying history and political science at Alma College.
Luke Solskjaer. He's also been literally traveling the world this past year, so it's awesome. Awesome, awesome. Hannah Martin. Oh, sorry. Okay. That's what I get for jumping.
I'm studying Spanish and law at U of M.
Sorry, I missed one. Natalie Luderman.
I'm studying laboratory medical science at Grand Valley State University.
Just to be on the safe side. Jayla Meeks. No. Magna Nair. Janavi Nalamolu.
I'm currently studying biomedical engineering and business at U of M.
Yashidina Nanaparaju.
Yes.
Hi, I'm currently a neuroscience major at U of M.
Natalie Dordan.
I'm at Lyman Briggs College at MSU, majoring in neuroscience and minoring in music.
Sean O'Hare.
I'm currently studying computer science at Michigan State University.
Aaron Ospina.
Hi, I'm studying cellular and molecular biology at the University of Michigan.
Olivia Perkins. Nicole Pinero. Mina Poles. Abdeli Punawala.
I'm currently pursuing an undecided engineering major at the University of Michigan.
Barun Purushothapan. No. Syed Reza. Taha Rehman.
Hi, I'm studying electrical engineering at U of M Dearborn.
Cameron Sayer. No. Nolan Chandel.
I'm currently studying chemical engineering at Michigan State.
Jacob Shaner. Kevin Schwartz. No. Eleanor Seo.
Hi, I'm tentatively studying neuroscience and computational biology at Duke University.
Isha Siddiqui.
I currently go to the College of Creative Studies in Midtown Detroit, and I'm majoring in product design and minoring in fashion.
Natalie Spence.
I'm currently studying industrial organizational psychology at Michigan State.
Vijay Sriram. Colin Stang. Maximilian Stein.
I'm currently studying international business and data analytics at George Washington University.
Jessica Stezwicki.
I'm studying electrical engineering and Spanish at Dearborn.
Izzy Taylor. Vina Thamoselvan. Ayata.
Hello, I'm studying international relations at Michigan State University.
Juliet Troutman. Jacob Vargo. Derek Williams. Mihir Saveri.
I'm studying business and economics at the University of Michigan.
Banam Zaya? No. Okay. Did I miss anybody? Okay. I'm going to turn it back over to Dr. Anderson for honoring our Academic Hall of Fame.
So guys, we are very proud of you. I know that you didn't get to have that news until July and may not have had anybody to celebrate, so we are thankful that you came back to celebrate with us because we've been very proud of the accomplishments that you've done, not only here, but what we're hearing about. Those are some really hard majors. So harder than I was going to be doing. Hall of Fame. You've heard this a couple times, so I'm going to go through it one more time real quick, a little bit of a review. Because we have one new member that was not in our group when we announced in June. So, beginning in 2009, Harrison High School deemed it important to honor the outstanding academic achievements of its graduates, just as they have their outstanding athletes. Thus, the Academic Hall of Fame was born. It is housed in the Media Center under the mural of some of the greatest thinkers and leaders our world has ever known, including Socrates, Martin Luther King, Albert Einstein, and Rosa Parks, just to name a few. In the past 9 years, less than 20 students have met the extremely rigorous criteria that would merit their inclusion. Graduates must attain 3 of the following 4 requirements: a 4-point cumulative grade point average, National Merit Scholar, commended or semifinalist, a score of 34 or higher on the ACT or the SAT equivalent score of 15-20, AP Scholar with a score of 5 on at least 4 different AP exams, or IB diploma student with a 6 or 7 on 3 high-level IB exams, or any student who takes any combination of 3 IB or AP courses and receives a 6 or 7 on the IB tests and a 5 on the AP tests. Keep all that straight, I'll quiz you later. If the math is correct, there have been approximately 2,700 graduates from HHS in these 9 years, and just less than 20 of them have qualified for the Academic Hall of Fame. Again, because we didn't get the AP or the IB scores until July, there were a couple people that may qualify, and so I'm going to reintroduce our inductees who have earned it and knew about it in June, and then I'm going to invite our newest member up as well. And just for a little bit of history, so as you know, or maybe you don't, that when Harrison does close, we will be selling the building to the city of Farmington Hills. It will be a rec center and a place for the community to use for many years to come. And there are plans in the works right now to have a Harrison legacy section there, which will have a digital archive. And so your pictures and your accomplishments will be forever enshrined in that program as well. So, inductees, when I call your names, please stand. These are the ones that heard about this in June. Allison Hopkins. She's not here. Abdili Poonawala. Eleanor Seo. Bina Thamelzaban, she couldn't be with us today. And Mihir Zaviri. And like I said, we had one more to add to our distinguished group, Travis Bell. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may sit. So we will make sure that is up. I know the June graduates are up. I think Travis will make sure yours might already be up. I have to double check it. But we'll make sure that it's set and it will be transferred over. So now what we have is a little bit of reflections. And so we've invited, I know Mrs. Dean reached out to you guys, and if you responded, she was able to select a few of you to say a few words about what your college experience has been like and how IB has prepared you for the rigors of academia. So, without further ado, I'm going to invite up Natalie Nordan to speak first.
Thank you, Dr. Anderson, for the introduction and for giving me the opportunity to speak to my friends and their families tonight. Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all having a relaxing break from college, maybe watching some Netflix. I know I am. When Mrs. Dean asked for students to speak about how IB impacted them, I thought I had something to share. After reflecting on my time at college, I realized that IB did 3 important things for me, and I hope all of you. The first thing was that it made me a more open-minded person. IB and my DOs have a lot in common. They both believe in a holistic approach. Now, for the half of you that aren't pre-med or knowledgeable of DOs, a DO is a doctor who uses a whole-person approach for treatment. So much like a whole person approach, our program helped me consider all of the information about any subject. I could look at different sides of an argument. I learned how to approach someone by looking at their situation and their disposition. In this way, I've learned how to respect many people's backgrounds, practices, and opinions. Through this, I've been able to connect with people from diverse backgrounds and have wonderful exchanges of knowledge at college. My class at Michigan State University is the most diverse class in MSU's history yet. That's amazing. It also means that having an open mind when meeting new people is extremely important. I think we all exited high school with the ability to interact with anyone regardless of their background. The second thing IB did for me was it helped me to question. Before high school, I was not a person who asked very many questions. Either I didn't know what to ask, or I thought I could discover the answers on my own. Although this turned me into quite the autodidact, it limited the potential of my knowledge. Through IB, I became more comfortable asking my friends and teachers questions, admitting when I did not know something and when I wanted to learn more. Learning how to ask questions also went against one of my core truths, and that is the respect for authority. In theory of knowledge, I was told to question authority. Now, I'm by no means an anarchist now. I simply learned that I did not have to blindly follow someone just because they were older than me or had more accolades. In terms of today's world, this ability to question is huge. I know many of us see stories of fake news on Facebook or television channels, and knowing what is true is like trying to figure out why a raven is like a writing desk. Like the Mad Hatter's riddle, sometimes there's no answer at all. Nonetheless, questioning is also a great skill of researchers and scientists, and I think questioning helped us become scholars of our own. Now, the most important thing that IB did for me was it prepared me for the real world. It gave all of us skills to use in college, home, and the workplace. I think we can all agree that time management is something we had to pick up pretty quickly. On top of that was work ethic. We had to do many long assignments, all of those written tasks, FOAs, IAs, the list goes on. It takes personal discipline to focus on tasks like those. I think one of the biggest real-world skills that we learned was how to work in a team. This became apparent to me at my college, Lyman Briggs, which encourages teamwork. Working in a team requires communication skills, knowledge of how to approach confrontation, and how to actually write and work as a team. We did quite a few team projects like the Group 4 project that gave us the base for those skills. It might have seemed insignificant back then, but we were learning a lot of skills that many kids entering college or the workforce don't have, and I'm thankful that we do. Now, I've been up here singing the praises of the IB program, but I'm going to take a minute to realize that our coursework was very difficult. I know it was easy to get disheartened by IB. We were doing what no other high schoolers would normally do, conducting research projects, writing mini thesis, and taking a philosophy class that I'm still trying to wrap my head around. But I can say this, it was worth all of it. All of the sweat, the tears, the all-nighters, even those Spotify playlists titled Sad or In My Feels. Here's how I know IB was worth it. College is amazing. I felt prepared for it. I just finished my chemistry final last week, and it was laid out all in the IB style. All of the concepts were connected in page-long questions and required out-of-the-box thinking. I've spoken to old and new friends who did IB, and everyone has roughly the same conclusion. College is a lot easier for us. We endured a lot of stress earlier in life, so we could have less stress at college. And it wasn't as if we were alone in IB. We all had a support system through our connections. Whether it was hanging out in the IB lounge, eating lunch together, or going to awesome beach parties, we were there for each other. We worked together, we succeeded, and that's admirable. To my peers, I wish you all success and happy holidays to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. Next, we're going to have Eleanor Seo.
Good evening, everyone. It's great to see everybody back, and to the class of 2018, congratulations. My name is Eleanor, and I'm currently at Duke University studying neuroscience and computational biology on the pre-med track, as I said previously. And when Ms. Palmer asked me to speak for this occasion, I had to scramble my thoughts to answer, why IB? To be honest, in the beginning, I did not want to do IB. Sadly, for my 8th grade self, my older brother was already doing it, which meant that I had to as well. Siblings setting those high standards, right? But I ended up going through the program, graduating, complaining a little bit throughout, and reflecting now, just like the members of the class of 2018 sitting on this stage. So here are a little of my thoughts, my gratitudes, and my hopes. I cannot lie and say that IB was perfect. No program is. It was difficult, sure, and there were times where I was overwhelmed. The January of my senior year was likely the most difficult time for me academically. The pressure of impending college decisions, the deadline closing in on the extended essay, every internal assessment needing to be turned in. It was rough. But IB is more than just the classes that you take or the papers that you write. IB is more than just cell theory, the Winkler method, or what Popper and Kuhn had to say. It taught me how to handle information, and when the next IB class leaves Farmington Hills to perhaps attend a higher academic institute, they will need to know how to approach information, process it, and respond to it in the right ways. If you do IB right, you will be prepared to do so. While a program cannot churn out perfect scholars, activists, and philosophers, the IB program and Harrison at large attempts to do so. I would not be as attuned to writing academic research papers to the extent that I do now if I was not given the practice here, at home, with supportive teachers guiding me through my baby steps and failures. I would not nearly be as inquisitive as I am now, making sure to never just accept the first thing that I hear and to always challenge information in order to learn more. Yet simply because I gained these things does not mean that others feel the same. IB provides a different experience for all those who venture through it, and it can therefore set people up for success in different ways as well. One of the most important aspects that needs to be known about this program is that one will get as much out of IB as one is willing to put in. Passive completion of an IA just to obtain the diploma will not be the same as if you work hard for it. You must be willing to become open-minded, caring, and reflective, as difficult as the work is on the way there. It is not a matter of questioning your ability to do something, but rather your will to see it through. The aspect of IB that I enjoyed the most was the relationships that we're allowed to form. Battling through stress, going to cafes for study sessions, the bonds formed from such pressing times are ones that, when trouble comes, stretches, bends, but never breaks. I will also be forever grateful for my teachers. Because we have had them for so long, for 2, 3, or 4 years, we were able to form bonds that we could not have with normal teachers. This meant that they could teach you more than just academia. They could teach you skills prescient in the competitive and ever-growing career field. I was lucky to have teachers that taught me more than what was in their standardized curriculum, how to be reflective, inquisitive, and to be kind. But with this, it must be noted that most students will not have the same opportunity to have such gifted teachers. I stand by something I felt during my 2 years of IB, and it is the fact that we have been so lucky. No one chooses where they are born, yet we were lucky enough to grow up with so many opportunities and privileges. As an aspiring medical humanitarian, I was once asked by a close friend, "Why do you want to make an impact?" And I did not know how to respond. It was not for money or for recognition, but saying that it was just because I wanted to do good seemed like a flimsy answer. So I responded by saying that, with all the privileges I have been bestowed with, I want to reciprocate how good the world has been to me. And I implore the current IB students to keep that in mind. Keep the world in the frame of your vision. Do not forget the millions of injustices that occur daily simply because you have an IA due next week. Become a productive member of society because one day, the letters I and B will no longer be imprinted in your brain. Be thankful, keep thinking, and stay hungry. Thank you.
So Eleanor, I gotta tell you, Dr. Bashir just whispered in my ear that IB will be imprinted in your brain. Forever. So, sorry about that. Drew Holscher, I invite you to come up next, please.
Greetings to faculty, friends, and family, and welcome home to the class of 2018. It's great to see all of us together again. I hope all of you have found a passion in what you currently pursue. The way I see this short time best spent is to share a thought process that I see as lacking in my generation. We stand here in a place of privilege. The greatest privilege we can be granted is education. Tonight, the diplomas and certificates received are symbolic of the privilege we have been benefited. Where this great privilege lies, the responsibility is greater. We are the ones that will eventually be handed the reins of the world. It is our job to use this privilege to better the world, not just ourselves. Here at Harrison, the IBDP program was an even greater privilege. From my perspective, and I may be wrong, but a teacher's most difficult job is not in teaching the technical content to their students, but in teaching the traits that lead to not only successful people, but more importantly, good people. Through the IB especially, we were taught the specific profile, and that you've heard so many times, of what a learner truly is. Inquirers, knowledgeable, thinkers, communicators, principled, open-minded, caring, risk-takers, balanced, and reflective. Our teachers here excelled not only in teaching content, but more importantly, in teaching us to be learners. With being learners, we must be leaders, and they taught us that too. So in this place of privilege, take a moment to appreciate what we have been given. As learners, it is our job to challenge the status quo. Too often, we, as innate in human nature, follow the status quo just for the ease of it. It is this mindset that leads to stagnant issues and, like a building built on a weak foundation, can collapse an entire infrastructure. The world can be crafted into a place for all and a society with exciting goals, but the first step is acknowledging our responsibility and using our position to help in the crafting. With Harrison closing, I think it provides the opportunity for growth. Beyond the opportunity of the great environment Harrison provided us to learn, its closure provides us the ability to know what legacy means. Even if this building no longer stands, the relationships we built and what we learned within these walls always will. It is the knowledge and the culture that remain even when no physical embodiments do. Knowing this, we can approach the world from our place of privilege in the same manner. What we can leave behind is not wealth or physical goods, but an impact or an influence on the world in which we live. Now, as an aspiring engineer, many might know me as a problem-solution type of person. As an aspiring biomedical engineer, I can tell you this is not the case. A key part of biomedical engineering is acknowledging and understanding the biomedical condition, which is a humanization of the biological issue. I bring this up because I feel this is one of the most special things about biomedical engineering. It is a hybrid of human empathy and emotional motivation with the objective problem solving of engineering. I bring this up because this is something the IB has taught us all. The most important ability the IB prescribes and that our teachers here have taught so well is open-mindedness. The ability to see the perspectives of others is critical in the pursuit of bettering ourselves and ultimately bettering the world. Open-mindedness has to do with more than just people, though. It involves all ideas. My mother, over recent years, would always tell me the phrase, fail forward. At the time, I criticized her passion for the phrase as romanticizing failure. I've recently come to terms with the phrase, as my most recent failures have been the catalyst for some of my greatest individual growths, although I still think failure is overly romanticized. I mention this because I want you all to remember to stay open to taking risks. The openness to avoid risk aversion can be difficult, and many will not take risks, following the status quo, but I urge you not to. It is our duty to do what we have had the opportunity to gain and spread it. Remember, we are the ones capable of making a difference for the better, and it starts with continuing to be lifelong learners and using our privilege to give it to others. And with that, I hope to have moved you to continue to follow all that we were taught here at Harrison and to better the world. Thank you.
And now, as a special guest, we have Emily Washington. She is a member of our first ever graduating class from IB for a little more of a perspective on what college is like beyond that first semester, because you all have to go back. So.
How's everyone doing this evening? So first, I want to introduce myself. My name is Emily Washington. I was in the first class ever for Harrison to do IB, which is the class of 2015. And I just wanted to congratulate all of the class of 2018 graduates. You guys are amazing. To all family and supporters and friends, I want you to know that the International Baccalaureate program was not easy for your students. The struggle was real. I had a 0-hour class. I know some of you can relate. It was HL music theory. It seemed like it was all a dream. I was so tired. But basically, what I really want to talk about is focus on all of you and the characteristics that IB has developed in you. From what I see, you are all such incredible individuals. You are risk takers, you're open-minded. And I know right now you all feel like learners because you're in school and you're feeling that probably the most. But all of these characteristics and skills that you've built a muscle for in this program, you'll develop over your life course. And I'm so excited for all of your futures. You're all doing your own thing. And I just have a little bit of advice. Well, actually, before the advice, I want to say, in my opinion, the most admirable accomplishment that you all demonstrate is the ability to step up and do something that not everyone else is doing. I know the IB program was new, and this was your last year to do it, and I know a lot of your friends were probably doing advanced placement or honors, but you all took the initiative to invest in yourselves, and that's so important, and that will follow you for the rest of your lives. And my only advice is to believe in yourselves, because those who believe in themselves in a radical way that they can change the world, those are the ones that actually do it. And I believe all of you can. You're all so special in your own way, and to just go after what you want fearlessly. I'm actually graduating college this year in May. Well, 2019, yes. Thank you. So that's my only bit of advice. You guys are all so intelligent, and 86% getting diplomas, that's astounding. And $8 billion of scholarships. Can we give them a round of applause for that? That's amazing. And yes, so I just want to say congratulations to the class of 2018. You all rock. I'm excited to see you guys in headlines and all the amazing things you all do, and to just really go after what you want. And you guys, if you're not sure about your future yet, that's okay. And it seems like most of you are in college right now, which is good, so you'll find your way. And I'm excited for you guys. So congratulations.
Her group literally were the risk takers beyond compare. I used to call them my guinea pigs, you know. But students like Emily, they'll always have a fun place. They were the pavers for the way for everybody else. They were our first graduating class, and they were an amazing group. And this is an amazing young lady. So thank you. Oh my goodness. In the district, they have this thing called, teachers say, why I teach. And when they came to me, I haven't seen it on the website yet, but I said, why I teach it, because having the opportunity to work with students like this gives me hope for the future. Because everybody has their spoke on the wheel, and we're making the wheel turn, and the world is going to be a better place for your present and your future. And I'm just so proud of you. You are the last class to actually experience IB graduation here. You have paved the way for those to take these traditions, and success to Farmington High School, and it will be just fine. Okay, but thank you all for coming. Thank you all for coming and sharing our evening with us. Bye-bye.
So knowing many of you guys haven't seen each other in a few months, we invite everybody. We have refreshments out in the lobby, a chance to catch up, enjoy each other before you head off for a wonderful holiday season. So thank you for being here. Thanks for coming.